This will shift your reality, my friends. Welcome back to AttractPassion. Today, we will be talking about how to shift your reality. In this video, I'm playing to you a painting by the name Power of Gratitude. And this painting can remind us to stay grateful, appreciate what you have right now, but also be open and embrace the changes which are coming into your life. So, how to shift our reality? Firstly, if we go a little bit to visit our ancient ancestors, most of different ancient traditions believed that we are the product of our consistent actions. And now we know that our consistent actions are the product of our consistent thoughts. What we're thinking most of the times. That's how we are acting and reacting in the world. So from where our thoughts are coming from? Usually from the informations that we are perceiving. Whatever we see around us, whatever we watch, whatever we read, whatever we listen, those are the informations that we are perceiving from our environment and what we are doing in our free time. So all those different sources of informations are editing and building a perception of our reality. And when we see the reality a certain way, we will be acting similar to how we see it. And when we are acting similar to how we see it on a long term, we are developing habits which are equal to our perception. What we believe that is real in our lives, that's what we are constantly doing, reaffirming that it's real. So when it comes to the question, what do you think about financial abundance? What do you think about health? What do you think about relationships? What do you think about religion? What do you think about science? What do you think about the universe? What do you think about everything? Because your answer determines how you're acting and reacting in the world about all those different topics. Based by your answer, you're developing habits. And if habits are aligned with what you want to experience, we will say those are healthy habits for us. If our habits are not aligned with what we want to experience, we will say those are toxic habits. We are getting sick because of our habits. We are constantly in lack because of our habits. But when it comes to changes, we say, yes, change is so hard. Change is so hard. But if you want to shift your reality, we need to become aware that change is not actually hard. It's just unfamiliar. Whatever is unfamiliar to us, we rather stay away from it, and we will get back into what is familiar because it's more comfortable. We feel better doing that. So when we want to change something about our life, and we find out how unfamiliar it is, usually we will get back to our old habits and we will say, well, it feels right for me. And most people think it's their intuition saying it to them. But actually it's just your subconscious mind feeling better and being in familiar program. So what we want to do is to firstly change our perception about changes. Change is easy. Changing habits is easy for me. When we do that, when we decide that change is not actually hard, change is really easy. Because habits are designed by small actions. Small actions are designed by even smaller actions. And each moment, if we are aware enough to see what we are doing, to recognize what we are doing in this moment, what we're thinking in this moment, we can always choose, is this aligned with who I want to become? So before we do before we go further to any changes, we need to know where we want to be, what we want to experience, who we want to become. So I like to say to you, see yourself 10 years from now. What do you see? And truly don't limit yourself with that. Go beyond your limits. How much income you can make, or let's say how much abundance you can see. Can you see yourself as the most healthier person? Can you see yourself having the best possible relationships, having all the things that you ever dreamed of? Being the happiest version of yourself, living at that dream place that you've always wanted. It doesn't need to be 10 years from now. It can be 1 year or 2 years, or, you decide. But the point is that you see yourself there. Because as soon as you have a vision of your future self, then you will see that, well, are my habits right now supporting that vision of the future? Are my thoughts right now supporting that vision of the future? The point is that you are becoming more aware of what you're doing in the present moment. And you will see that even if changes feels unfamiliar, you need to go through that process of feeling unfamiliar until a new habit will become more familiar than your present habits are. It's like going into a cold water. If you've ever went into a cold water or a cold shower, it's so uncomfortable, so unfamiliar. But once we embrace the cold water, it becomes the best experience that ever happened to us. So the thing is that once we embrace the changes becomes easy, but also beautiful and amazing. The change is not easy just because you're afraid of being in unfamiliar. And it's actually the natural process of our body. When we get into something which is uncomfortable, body will turn on the stress response, the fight or flight mode, where we will feel like we want to run away from it. But our conscious mind can decide, well, is it more important than who I am in this moment? Is that changed version of myself more important than who I am in the present moment? So you decide for yourself. I always ask myself, is that future self, do I truly want to get there? If yes, I will make everything I can right now to embrace myself in anything that I feel uncomfortable. And it's not always easy. I'm dealing with many fears sometimes. I'm dealing with different painful situations sometimes. But I'm ready and I'm open to go through it. So habits are designed through repetition. When we're repeating it every single day, it will become more and more familiar. And neuroscientists are saying that usually to develop a new habit it takes 30 days at least. So I found out for myself, for example, when it comes to waking up early or working out, consistent working out, whatever it is, I found out that if I'm doing it consistently for 1 month, it will become truly easy for me. The first days are easy, but then the second week or the third week is the hardest. But if I'm able to move through it, suddenly it becomes natural to me. So when I've changed my habits, my reality has changed. But we need to understand that habits, we can't force ourselves to habits. We need to change our perception firstly, our beliefs, stories that we are telling to ourselves. Basically, we need to change what we are perceiving, what we are watching, what we're listening. So long time ago, I decided that I will be reading books which can help me to grow. I will be watching videos which can help me to grow. I was never listening radio in my car. I always put something inspiring into it. Usually those were interviews or affirmations or different motivational speeches. So I was constantly listening something inspiring. And it helped me a lot on my journey to changing my habits. And I'm always keeping in my mind my vision of the future. Whatever it is, the financial state, the plan, what I want to create with this YouTube channel, everything about my art, where I see my art in the next 10 years. I have a vision of the future. So I know where I'm going and I can know what I can do today so I can make it happen. So this is it for today, my friends. If you will do it, your reality will shift. And it's not a one-day process, it's a lifetime process. As we are growing every single day, we are learning every single day. But we need to decide that we will stay in that process for the rest of our lives. Because many people think that when we are in school, while we are in school, it's our time for learning. When we finish the school, then it's time to make some money, right? But actually, life is about learning and growing. And all the money and all other abundance will come automatically. If we are putting our efforts, if we are giving our energy into growth, if we are constantly evolving, everything that we are dreaming about will happen eventually, automatically. It will find us. If we have that vision of the future and we are evolving to the level that we can experience it, everything will happen automatically. So have a vision of the future. With your actions, walk towards it. Be consistent with that and you will develop new habits which are more supportive for your future self. That's it for today, my friends. Have a beautiful day. I'm sending you love, power, and blessings. I hope you've liked the painting Power of Gratitude. Write some thoughts about it in the comments below. And also feel free to write how you are overcoming your habits to inspire people so they can move through it easily with your help. This is it. One more time, have a beautiful day and see you soon. One love.